The road construction project begins in downtown Venice on Monday. What preparations are happening over the weekend?
Plus, parts of Venice under a boil water advisory next week. We'll show you if you'll be affected.
How Manatee County Charter School went from an F to an A school. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 6.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. A warning for residents in Venice. You may be without water for a few days next week. There will be a scheduled water outage on Monday and Tuesday from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 p.m. on both days. The outage is due to replacement of a water service line, part of the Cooper Street Water Service Replacement Project. The areas affected will be Cooper Street, addresses 1 through 10, and 790 Tamiami Trail South. Those affected are urged to boil water for the rest of the week.
Follow up now to a story we first told you about yesterday. We reached out to the mayor of Holmes Beach regarding Spring Lake, which neighbors say has turned black because of pollution. Mayor Bob Johnson says they're having the lake tested and will take action as needed.
Well, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan has been pretty busy following some storms in the tropics. Let's head over to him and check in on our first alert forecast.
In the deep tropics, too, that is, Jacqueline. This storm system, a little unusual, already setting some records in that it's developed so far south, and it is a hurricane now, the first hurricane of the season here in July. Typically, the hurricanes in the Atlantic don't get going until after August 1st, but we do have one here now. It did have a distinct eye at one point. You can see it quite clearly, and now not as much of one, and it's a very tightly wound up system, only about 20 miles in diameter as far as that goes, and there's no real banding features to it. It is in an area that's somewhat favorable for development, as a high pressure ridge is located in the upper level atmosphere to the north of it, and we'll stay with it for the next couple of days too before it starts to get sheared apart once it enters into the Caribbean. The latest on it now, top winds are at 80. It's moving to the west, pretty good clip, 15 miles an hour, and the pressure's at 994 millibars. You can see that forecast path and track has it as a Category 1 now, making landfall into the central portion of the Lesser Antilles and then pushing off toward the west. Now, the track has shifted a little bit further off to the south from the latest advisory now. This comes out of the National Hurricane Center. And then in day 4, it dissipates the storm as winds up to 45 miles an hour. It looks rather ominous for Florida, but it has to go through a lot of territory over the Cuba, and that does not appear that it's going to do that. Some models do take it off toward the Bahamas later on in the forecast period, but the winds are really strong here out of the south, and it's not going to allow it to get much strength once it gets into the central Caribbean. We'll have more on that and the possibility of Chris forming off of the Carolina coast coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Well, we are heading into the last weekend before downtown Venice becomes a construction zone.
An $8 million beautification project on the core streets of downtown will finally start on Monday after months of planning. ABC7's Rebecca Fernandez is live in Venice with more on what we'll see there. Rebecca?
Good evening, guys. Well, this project will start on Monday and it will be rolled out in 6 different phases. The first one being this street right behind me. All eastbound lanes of West Venice Avenue will be closed from US 41 to Harbor Drive. Downtown Venice is getting an upgrade.
We have a lot of aging infrastructure and it's in very poor condition, so we're going to be upgrading the drainage, the sidewalks, adding additional landscaping, removing some of the landscaping that's either damaged or diseased, and just giving a brand new look to downtown.
This downtown roadways improvement project will rebuild Venice, Tampa, and Miami avenues by adding things like drainage systems, installing new landscaping, and having lighted pathways on the crosswalks.
Things that have really needed attention for a long time. We're finally going to get it. We all kind of complain and suffer through it, but I think at the end of it, it's going to be wonderful.
And one of those big changes that might take a while to get used to is the location of the famous farmers market. Since main downtown streets will be closed at different points until the project is completed in February, the weekly farmers market will be moved to the parking lot of City Hall beginning tomorrow.
It's a rather historic event. This market has really been downtown and around West Tampa Avenue for almost 20 years, and for the first time we are relocating. We know that once we're here for a week or two, people will really figure it out. We'll have tons of signs up and down the street saying Farmers Market at City Hall.
And even though change can be difficult, the farmers market is hopeful that these adjustments for the next few months will help revitalize the city of Venice for years to come.
All the work and thought that's gone into this, it's really not only going to be a structural upgrade, but you can also really see where aesthetically it's going to be beautiful when they're done. It's just going to take a little bit of time. So I think we're going to be here for the season.
And while the farmers market is affected, the shops and restaurants here in downtown Venice are not. They will remain open throughout the completion of the project. Reporting live from Venice, Rebecca Fernandez, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Rebecca, thank you. Both the Peace River and Horse Creek are predicted to rise to minor flood stage. DeSoto County tweeting out these graphs today. On the graph, the blue line is the actual level according to the gauges, and the dotted line is the prediction that can and will change. It's important to monitor these levels and take action when necessary. It's also important to know if you're living in a flood zone. To find out if you do live in a flood zone, make sure to watch our 2018 hurricane special. The entire show is on our website, and it will tell you everything you need to know about hurricane shelters, evacuation routes, flood zones, pet information, and much more. You can find it on mysuncoast.com under the Weather Hurricane Center tab.
A Manatee County charter school celebrating its state testing grade today after going from an F to an A in only 2 years. The co-founder of the all-boys elementary school, Visible Men's Academy, says the improvement is due in part to switching to the iReady learning program that aligns better with Florida's assessment test. The school's curriculum also places a heavy emphasis on character development.
With whatever misgivings I have with the overemphasis on standardized.
Visible Men's Academy grew to 100 students last year who all come from at or below low-income families on the poverty line. Still to come tonight on your Suncoast News, how Holmes Beach Police is working with homeowners to catch criminals in the city.
Plus, imagine finding a note with a racial slur in your hotel room. The incident that happened at a Sarasota hotel and what the victims have to say.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
My California closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
The Holmes Beach Police Department is asking residents to help keep the city safe by registering their surveillance cameras.
ABC7's Jackie Kelly explains how this information can help when they are looking for a suspect. Jackie?
Scott, Jacqueline, the chief tells me that in the past they've been able to identify suspects quickly through those home security footage videos, releasing that to the public. Now that happened here on 75th Street, where you can even see they have a neighborhood watch sign. Now police say that if they know where those cameras are, then they'll be able to find those suspects quicker.
If the victim was your mother or your grandmother, wouldn't you want somebody to step up and say, hey, we have a video camera, we might have captured some data that could help you to solve this crime?
Holmes Beach Police Chief William Tokajer says the security footage you are seeing now is from a home invasion that was all caught on camera by a neighbor's security camera.
As soon as we got the film out to the public, people started calling us and giving us the tips we needed to make the arrest and get the confession on this gentleman.
That's why the police department wants residents and businesses to register their security cameras. They say mapping out those cameras will help officers quickly discover if any part of the crime was caught on surveillance. One local gas station worker says the man who robbed the store where she worked and then assaulted her was captured through the use of surveillance cameras.
If it wasn't for the cameras, I've never seen the gentleman before. We wouldn't have been able to ID him.
The chief says people who participate in the program won't have to give up their privacy.
They're giving us the data on they have a camera. We have to go to them to get the video. We can't just tap into their video.
If you're not doing nothing wrong, they don't care. They're not trying to invade your privacy. They're not trying to invade any of that. They're just trying to catch the perpetrators that are hurting people or stealing from these people out here or whatever they're doing.
Now, if you want to register your camera, you can do so online or by going to the police department. Reporting live in Holmes Beach, Jackie Kelly, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Jackie, thank you. An African-American family came to Sarasota looking for a relaxing vacation, but instead returned to their upscale hotel room to find a racist note. Frank Davis and his family were shocked by that note. It stated, "You're an N-word." The hotel offered a free night stay, according to Davis, but his family declined, saying they no longer felt safe staying there. Davis says he believes whoever did this had access to the room and likely worked at the hotel.
Who knows what other kind of actions that individual who clearly knew that we were there was capable of, which is why we decided to relocate to and find additional new lodging for the rest of our stay.
A statement from the hotel says, in part, "We apologize for the guest experience. We remain committed to providing an environment where all feel welcome. Allegations such as this are very concerning to us. The matter is being actively investigated and appropriate actions will be taken based on the findings." Hotel leadership is engaged with the guests and we have extended our apologies. In addition, the hotel will be reinforcing its sensitivity training with associates at all levels. Our corporate team has contacted the guest and apologized as well.
A first for the city of Sarasota. This week, the city approved a permit which allows the company True Leaf to open a medical marijuana dispensary. It will be located on Boniva Road in the Sarasota Commons Plaza. One store in Sarasota is already selling CBD, which is the medicinal oil that comes from marijuana.
The CBD was helping a lot of clients. We have people driving from Sarasota, Inglewood, Venice, those areas, so just see more of a centralized location for everybody to help them out.
True Leaf already has 15 facilities in Florida, including one in Bradenton, which opened last year. The company also plans to open a facility on Jacaranda Boulevard in Venice.
One Manatee County community is trying to give back to the family of a man who dedicated his time to them. The Farmhouse is hosting a fundraising event for Nicholas Wilson, who was killed riding his bike last week. Wilson was a volunteer paramedic and worked for Manatee Memorial Hospital. And one of his favorite things to do was stop into the Farmhouse store and donut shop. Organizers say the community is responding.
We posted yesterday on Facebook and it was shared like 250 times, so it was pretty amazing. We had like 30 firefighter paramedics in this morning, which was pretty amazing.
And make a donation from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m.
We're in the midst of summer, and animal experts say it's best to leave your pets at home instead of bringing them along with you on your errands that you may be running. The American Veterinary Medical Association says the temperature inside your car can get almost 20 degrees higher than the temperature outside in just 10 minutes. So if you see a pet left in an unattended car, you should call police immediately to get them to that location right away.
Actually, the answer to that is never to leave your pet in the car at all. I think that it's just really important to leave your pet at home or find out some other alternative. It's never a good idea to leave a pet in a vehicle unattended.
Now, it is legal here in Florida to break into a hot car to save a pet. Of course, you want to call police first before you do anything like that. But, you know, if you have to take those measures, it is legal.
Okay. And yes, another summer day, but the shower's not along the coast today.
Well, it's because of the cloud cover, too. The cloud cover didn't allow the heat to warm things up and create the lift that you need to create these storms in the afternoon and evening. We have a few around, but not many at all. And it looks like this weekend will be good, too. So if you have some weekend plans, we'll have a little bit more sunshine on the beach than you see on this time-lapse imagery, and it looks like a little bit of sun starting to shine there late in the period, but not much rainfall around at all across west central Florida. We've had a few isolated cells popping up here and there. Most of the activity associated with the low pressure trough that's out in the Gulf of Mexico. You can see the showers way out here. There's a little piece of energy out there, and we're going to need some of the blow off those tops of the storms into the Gulf of Mexico and then into west central Florida, keeping temperatures at bay, a little bit below average today, and not a big heat index day at all. You can see some storms developing in northwest portions of Hardee County tonight, but that activity is very weak. It's not sticking around very long. The heavy weather well to the east of our viewing area. We had some big storms near Northport, starting to dry up there at Sumter Boulevard, and you can see Toledo Blade Boulevard looking better too in Northport. Things have calmed down. Peace River Shore, still some light rainfall. Punta Gorda had a pretty big cell just about an hour and a half ago, but nothing going on there now. Hidden River, as far as severe weather goes, or rough storms. Hidden River, some showers to the east of Hidden River now. That activity, again, pushing off to the northeast. Could generate a lightning strike or two like we're seeing with this cell over northwestern portions of Hardee County, just to the west of Bowling Green as it makes its way to the east northeast. Now, we're looking pretty good tonight. Temperatures will drop down into the mid-70s, upper 70s right around 11 o'clock with a few clouds around. So if you have any evening plans, not a problem. And the weekend's looking really good too, with limited shower activity in the forecast. Futurecast showing some showers and storms in the central Florida kind of pushing on, and then Tampa will see a few morning showers. We could see a few of those down here too. So don't be surprised by a coastal shower into the say 10, 11 o'clock hour. Then that will shift eastward, and that will be the case again on Sunday. There's a chance for a morning shower along the coast with the land breeze, but for the most part, we stay high and dry. That sea breeze will kick into the interior portions of our viewing area. Well, this upper level low continues to spin right through the Florida-Georgia border there near Jacksonville. That's where the heavier storms are now. That's creating a little bit more lift in the atmosphere. We're watching this area. We talked about Beryl earlier. Here it is, a very significant storm pushing off to the west. It looks like it could make landfall as a Category 1 hurricane, but the Hurricane Center is suggesting it could even open up to a tropical wave prior to the arrival there. So that's really come down. It was a Category 2 at the 11 o'clock advisory. Now that's gone down to a 1. Hopefully it goes down to just a tropical wave. This could be a tropical storm. If it were, its name would be Chris. 80% chance now. That's way up there. 70% over the next 2 days, 80 up the next 5 days. It'll just kind of sit out here and dance around a little bit. And then a cold front will pick it up and head to the northeast. But a couple of models have it going right on into the outer banks of North Carolina, so they're watching that closely in the mid-Atlantic coast states. Now for us, boaters, not a problem out there. Not much wind for your sail, though. If you're sailing, seas will be less than 2 feet. And as far as the 7-day forecast goes, well, here it is for you. A slight chance for showers tomorrow along the coast at 20%, a little bit better well inland. A 30% chance for a few showers on Sunday, not much at all. And then we bounce back to a 40 to 50% chance throughout the work week next week with return to those afternoon and evening thunderstorms. Jacqueline?
Thanks, Bob. 2 people are in the hospital after a small plane crashed on the east coast of Florida. The pilot is in critical condition while the passenger is expected to recover. The Federal Aviation Administration says the plane's left landing gear collapsed. The plane then veered off a runway and burst into flames.
Disney World experienced some technical difficulties today. Several people reporting online that they're unable to log into Disney's website or app, which of course you need to do to access fast passes, maps, and wait times. According to the Disney outage detector map, they're still experiencing some outages. One person commented on the page that the Disney Hollywood studio sign was down about an hour ago, and you can see, yeah, they're having issues there near Disney.
A Florida feline is getting the royal treatment. Moose the cat frequents a Publix in Pensacola. The cat is so well liked, a couple who shops at the store gave them this Moose Crossing sign. The store put the signs up in the parking lot. Now Moose even has his very own Facebook page dedicated to him, which has now become sort of a fan page with people posting pictures of Moose that they've snapped at the Publix and others just proclaiming their affection.
Coming up, the effort to get rid of some invasive species that live here on the Suncoast.
Tonight, President Trump's plan to reveal his Supreme Court nominee to a TV audience of millions, and a new shakeup in the Trump administration, the resignation of scandal-plagued EPA Chief Scott Pruitt. World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
Judy here, I think hospice was a tremendous source of support for her.
Absolutely. With Jennifer and Kimberly and Liza's constant contact with us, coming in, just knowing that there was someone with knowledge there to back us up, to answer our questions, it made a world of difference.
When you are home alone, an emergency can become a tragedy. However, with any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, whether in the bathroom,
I've fallen in the shower.
at home,
Help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
and on the go.
Help! I've fallen in the park and I can't get up.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-518-0221. That's 1-800-518-0221. Call now, 1-800-518-0221. For a free brochure, call 1-800-518-0221.
Hello, I'm John Merce. Rugs As Art is celebrating yet another anniversary, and I would personally like to thank each and every one of you for the many years of continuous support. All during the month of July, we're having a grand celebration. We have flooded our showroom with yellow tag specials, meaning more discounts and more savings than ever before, plus free padding. So don't miss this anniversary celebration at Rugs As Art, Sarasota's bigger and better area rug superstore.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here. Because
Why, you don't like my hair? The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast.
301 and 41 both are showing a lot of slowdowns, as well as the bridges that are coming into Bradenton.
Chance of showers during the morning hours thanks to a west wind. Tomorrow, I think our rainfall chance will be enhanced.
Weekdays starting at 5 a.m.
Scuba diving teams getting ready to go after an invasive species. The 5th annual Sarasota Lionfish Derby kicks off tonight, and dive teams will go out early tomorrow morning into the Gulf. They'll be searching for lionfish, which are a non-native species and which has invaded the waters around Florida. Mote Marine Lab will host the weigh-in on Sunday at noon, and then local chefs will be there to prepare those lionfish to eat. It should be a fun thing.
Yeah, that might be interesting to get out and check out and
Yeah.
see if those, I don't know if I would be interested in tasting them.
I heard they're delicious,
Really?
and there are restaurants when they can get the lionfish, they will.
I'll give it a shot. I'll be
Yeah.
more than happy. Send me a bite. I'll taste test it for you. Looking good for coastal residents anywhere from actually west of I-75. Not a problem tonight.
Right. World News Tonight with David Muir is next.
We'll see you at 11. Have a wonderful weekend.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
I just need a second.
Is your weight holding you back and affecting your health?
Did you see this? Your cousin had a heart attack.
Really?
Excess weight or obesity can be serious, but you can do something about it. Visit yourweightmatters.org. Download the free toolkit to prepare you to speak with a healthcare provider. Your weight does matter. Accept the challenge and take charge today. Visit yourweightmatters.org.
My name is Blake. I received a heart transplant when I was 2 weeks old. I play defense for the Red Hot Tornadoes. Sometimes my heart starts pounding like faster and faster as I go. I know I have someone else's heart inside me. It makes me feel happy because someone was generous enough to give me a second chance to live.
This gift of life was made possible by an organ donor. Imagine what you could make possible. Sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
My California closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Every week on Animal Outtakes, it's a new adventure. From meeting curious lemurs to feeding big cats and hosing down rhinos, there's never a dull moment. And sometimes these amazing animals chime in. Tune in to Animal Outtakes to find out what they have to say. Watch Animal Outtakes every week on ABC7.
Dear parents, it's time for a pop quiz. What's the best kind of play for kids? Play that makes us think? Or helps us pretend? Or teaches us rules? Or to be creative? Actually, every kind of play is important because different kinds of play Give us different kinds of skills. Help us mix up the ways we play. Okay, class dismissed. Now go play.